Today, we'll talk about how to feel confident in your social skills to make new friends. There are times when we are in a social situation and overthink what to do or what to say, and we end up not saying anything. Social skills to make new friends are behaviors that are expected in friendly conversations when we don't know much about the other person. If you are new here, my name is Norma Nikutowski. I'm a psychologist and happiness coach, and in this channel we explore tips and strategies for a happy, healthy and fulfilling life. The first step to make new friends is to find out what your interests are. What do you like and enjoy doing? Let's make a list of 5 topics you find interesting. Once you know what your interests are, look for groups where other people also share the same interests. This could be a class or a group. Once you have the opportunity to interact with other people who share your same interests, let's take a look at basic social skills for an adequate conversation. Social skills to make new friends, good conversations. If you want to make new friends, it's important to interact with others and have good conversations. Exchange information. A conversation has at least 2 people who exchange information about each other. First, one person may ask a question or make a comment, and then the other person shares some information. In addition, a conversation is like a tennis match. The ball goes back and forth between 2 players. However, if the ball stays for too long on one side, it's not a conversation anymore. The first social skill to make new friends is to exchange information. Make sure that you share some things about yourself, ask a question or make a comment, and that the other person also has an opportunity to talk. Avoid asking too many questions. When making new friends, we want to find common interests by asking questions and sharing related information about ourselves. Asking questions is a great starting point, but if the other person does not ask questions back, you need to share your own responses. Just asking questions does not allow to find common interests to make new friends. Once the other person shared some of his or her interests, it's turn to share some information. Even if the other person does not ask, respond to your own question. Ask the person about her interests and hobbies with the goal of finding common interests. Ask open-ended questions. Find common interests. The goal of having conversations is to exchange information and find common interests. When you meet someone, make comments, share experiences, and ask questions. Find out what interests you have in common with the other person. These common interests could lead to a friendship. Once you've found out at least one common interest with the other person, it's time to think about ideas of what you could do together. If both of you like reading, you could read the same book, discuss the story, go to the library, visit a bookstore. Learn more about the author. Even general questions such as, what did you do during the weekend? What do you do after work? Can provide useful information about the person's interests. The key to making new friends is to focus on common interests. Share interactions. Do you remember that the conversation is like a tennis match? The ball should go from one side of the court to the other. Keep this in mind when having conversations with others. Some people are so focused on their own interests that they share them without taking into account the other person's interest or reaction. Someone who is interested in nuclear energy may share very specific information using terms the other person never heard of. The conversational partner will feel disconnected and uninterested. If you are so focused on your own preferences, it will be difficult to find shared interests with the other person. One-way conversations where one person only shares information can feel boring and frustrating to the other partner. Focus on finding common interests instead of only focusing on what's interesting for you. Dominating conversations, it's not a good idea. Sharing interactions is one of the most important skills to make new friends. Use active listening skills. There are verbal and non-verbal ways to show our conversational partner that we are listening. For example, non-verbal ways to show you are listening: keeping eye contact, smiling, nodding your head in agreement, moving your head from side to side in disbelief or disagreement, slightly leaning toward the other person. Verbal ways to show you are listening: asking clarifying or follow-up questions, rephrasing what the other person said, sharing related information. Using active listening skills lets the other person know that you are interested and care about the information she is sharing. Don't overshare in the beginning. When you meet a new person, it is best to keep conversations informal and about everyday topics. It can feel overwhelming to the other person when you share too much personal information when you just recently met someone. Also, don't ask too many personal questions because it may scare the other person off. For example, if you're going through a divorce, it is okay to share your general feelings, but going into personal details about the reason of the divorce and all the difficulties involved can feel overwhelming for the other person. Make eye contact. Making eye contact shows others that you are interested in what they are saying. It is okay to occasionally look away for a couple of seconds. Staring in someone's eyes can make the other person feel uncomfortable. However, not making enough eye contact makes it look like you are not interested. Keep your body distance. Make sure you are not too close and not too far away from your conversation partner. A reasonable distance is to stand about an arm's length away from the person you are talking to, which is about 3 feet apart. If you are too close, the other person will feel that you are invading her personal space. On the other hand, if you are too far away, it can be difficult to understand and keep the conversation going. Or you'll have to speak so loud that everyone around you will be staring at you. Ignore other people's mistakes. When we meet someone, we may be nervous or anxious about the interaction, and we may not choose the right words or stutter or maybe stumble over words. It is better to ignore these mistakes instead of pointing them out or correcting them. Also, focus on what you like about the other person instead of what you don't like. Nobody likes to be criticized or teased or have negative comments about their appearance. Don't criticize or point out the other person's mistake. Regulate your voice volume. Using the right voice volume is an important social skill to make new friends. Speaking too loudly can startle your conversation partners and make them worry about everyone else overhearing the conversation. On the other hand, if someone speaks too quietly, it can be difficult to understand the words, and it takes extra effort to decode what the other person is trying to say. Shy or timid people tend to speak quietly. People who are hard of hearing tend to speak louder because they have a hard time hearing. If you see that your conversational partner is leaning his head toward you and squinting his eyes, this may signal that he has a hard time understanding your words. Instead, if your conversational partner leans away from you, it may indicate that you are too close or speaking too loudly. Keep in mind these 10 social skills to make new friends. Next time you have an opportunity to meet new people, which of these social skills to make new friends do you think is the most helpful? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you get notified next time I upload a new video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.